Feeling Fit in the 90s tip is brought to you by these foods available at Tops Friendly Markets. Cholesterol is a fatty substance the body uses to make cell membranes and hormones. There are two types of cholesterol. One can lead to heart disease. The other is beneficial to the body. Protective cholesterol, or HDL, acts as something of a scavenger, picking up excess bad cholesterol and carrying it to the waste disposal department of the liver. Look for HDL in polyunsaturated fats such as safflower, sunflower, and corn oil.
Start feeling fit for the 90s with Tops and these Feeling Fit products. Weight Watchers frozen entrees are the perfect balance of good taste and nutrition. Weight Watchers, 28 years of healthy eating experience. For a light snack, try Weight Watchers Ultimate 90 Yogurt. It's low in cholesterol, 100% fat-free, and has only 90 calories per cup. Quench your thirst with refreshing Ocean Spray grapefruit juice. It's a great source of vitamin C and potassium, and it doesn't contain any sodium or cholesterol. Smart choices for feeling fit at Tops Friendly Markets.
It's touchdown in Tampa as the Buffalo Bills get ready to slay the Giants. And News Channel 7 has been with you all the way. We were the first station to have a crew in Tampa. Keith Radford, Mary McComb, Steve Boyd, Bob Dushinsky, and John Murphy with live specials and reports. Plus, you even got to talk with Regis and Kathy Lee live on AM Buffalo. And stay with us for coverage all weekend long on News Channel 7, your official Buffalo Bills Super Bowl station. News Channel 7 Buffalo, your Super Bowl station.
Touchdown in Tampa, an Eyewitness News special, is brought to you by Dodge. See your nearby Teen Dodge dealer today. By Labatt's Blue, Canada's #1 beer. By your 9X Yellow Pages. And Midas Muffler Shops.
Touchdown in Tampa, Super Bowl Sunday.
Good afternoon once again. We are coming to you live via satellite from Tampa Stadium. Super Bowl 25 about to begin. Just over 3 hours away. This is Keith Radford along with Bob Kuczynski. You're looking at a picture right now of the fans as they stream into the stadium this afternoon. The weather certainly has turned nice in Tampa today. Overcast this morning, a little bit cool all week long. It's now sunny and about 75 degrees outside. Perfect conditions for this Super Bowl, the second ever to be held here at Tampa Stadium.
And the first ever for the Buffalo Bills, Super Bowl 25. Fittingly enough, they'd be coming out here for the silver anniversary game. And in fact, the team is in the stadium. They arrived just a few minutes ago. Let's take a look at the tape. The Bills were to do it at 3:30. Apparently they left early. Coach Marv Levy deciding he wanted his players to come into the stadium a little bit early. They'll go out on the field. They'll go through the motions of practicing, warming up, relaxing a little bit. Then they'll come out as a unit. They'll run through a few plays, do what they do before a game, punting, catching, throwing. This is the biggest game of their collective lives. The game will be starting at 6:18. Immediately following the game, you will be live exclusively with Channel 7 in the locker room right after ABC's broadcast. Keith, it's going to be an exciting evening.
ABC Sports coverage begins at 4 o'clock this afternoon after our 1-hour broadcast here. Also, we're going to be back with you live later on tonight when the network signs off. That's probably going to be about 10 or 10:30. The fans are streaming in here, and it's difficult once again to pick the Buffalo fans from the Giant fans because they all have the same colors, the red, white, and blue T-shirts and hats and sweatshirts and whatever.
Yeah, but I know how to spell Bills and I know how to spell Giants, so I just look at the hat, and that gives me an indication which team they're cheering for. I see a lot of Giant fans lining up at the ticket windows. Maybe we just, or I should say the gates, maybe we just haven't seen the right gates for the Bills fans. But right now we're going to go back to Buffalo where all the Bills fans who couldn't make it to Tampa are sitting by. Let's go now to Jerry in the studio. Jerry?
Okay, Bob. Sitting here with Kathleen Layton. I think we finally found out the big contrast between Tampa and Buffalo. In Tampa, the Bills are there, the players have butterflies. Here in Buffalo, Kathleen is here, she's having contractions. So, let's hope nothing happens big during the big game.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, I hope nothing big except the Bills winning. Well, Jerry, the big moment is almost here, and of course, it is important to have the right attire. I've got my Bills sweatshirt on. A lot of fans took advantage today of sales on all sorts of Bills items. We found a conference room at the Holiday Inn on Delaware Avenue filled with bargain-hunting Bills fans. A lot of Western New Yorkers seem very confident, snapping up sweatshirts, proudly displaying the Bills as Super Bowl champs. And let's hope they're right.
We're going to go right now and talk to Susan Banks and Mike Randall, who are at Tunes on Elwood. Elwood, come on in, guys.
Hi, guys. Back at the studio. What a big day this is for us, huh, Mike?
A lot of excitement here. And by the way, Jerry, you look great on a big screen TV. You're doing terrific. That's about a 7-foot screen they have here at Tunes, and it is a small crowd so far.
But enthusiastic.
Very. In fact, the guy right behind me, Dave, says he's going to go out there and tear down the streetlights instead of the goalposts when the Bills win the game. It's very exciting.
We hope it will be a win.
3 hours away.
We have got all sorts of people doing special things today, and it just so happens that this game is coinciding with somebody's birthday, and Linda from Buffalo is here to tell us about the cake. Linda, here's your cake. Tell me about this cake.
It's a very dear friend of mine's birthday today.
Turn it around so we can see it. Sure. We don't want it to slide off the plate. Now, who's Bill?
He's just a dear friend of mine.
How dear?
Oh, very dear. And it's also a little enthusiasm for the Buffalo Bills, who are going to win that Super Bowl today, I'm sure.
Happy birthday, Bill.
Yeah, and let's go Bills.
And let's go Bills. Thank you, Linda from Buffalo. Mike has some friends here from Plattsburgh.
Linda, thanks for being on TV, and thanks for the cake. Tell Bill we enjoyed it. Come on in, ladies. Okay, we have Michelle and Mary all the way from Plattsburgh. But the truth is, now, you lived in Buffalo 4 years.
Right,
Okay,
right.
and you are from Buffalo.
Yes, I am.
But you came talk about going to Tampa. You know, how long does it take to get to Tampa? 31 years? How long did it take you? How long did it take you to get here to Buffalo?
6.5 hours.
6.5. Why? Don't they have TV sets?
No, lots of snow on the way here.
They have no TV sets in Buffalo?
Yeah, but they have, no, Buffalo.
Plattsburgh.
They have all Giants fans, though. Yeah, it's disgusting, really disgusting.
So it's great to be back, and why here of all places?
Well, we heard this is a great place to come and watch football. I have never been here before. Michelle came here in December after the Miami game. So she said, and it was just a lot of enthusiasm here. You get the real Bills fans over here.
Is this a dust bunny now, or a, what is it?
This was from a Monday Night Football game a couple years ago.
Really? I'm sure you have a few cheers that you could do for us, too.
Oh, some of the original, like, go, go, Buffalo!
Well, maybe it's not original, but it's appropriate. Yes.
We could do that, Mike, but unfortunately we're running out of time, and our friends here at Tunes have been rehearsing something. You know, last night at the Buffalo Sports Grill on Hurdle, everybody was singing the Shout song. Not well, but here we have been practicing the wave.
All day.
And as we send it back to Kathleen and Jerry, we want to show you what all the... Are you ready? All the patrons here are doing. They're ready. Here we go with the wave.
For the wave. Here it goes. Take it away. Keep going. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Okay.
It needs a little one, Jerry.
Wave bye-bye.
Thank you.
We're ready.
I think the halftime show on ABC just might be a little better than that.
I'm better at waving than I am singing as well. I mean, I can understand where they're coming from. Let's go back to Tampa, where all the real excitement is today, where Keith and Bob are standing by.
Certainly is. I wonder if Susan and Mike are standing outside there on Elmwood Avenue today. Like we're standing outside the stadium.
You know, one thing about being outside the stadium, the security here today, I've been told by one of the security officers, the only place safer in the United States than Tampa Stadium today is
White House,
the White House. So right now you're taking a look at some of the security precautions. They check every single car, every bag, every pocket, every device with metal detectors. They go through inspecting anything that could possibly hide some piece of equipment
under
that
the
could be
seats,
harmful.
opened up all the hoods and everything. Believe me, nothing that's
Even
not
went through your
supposed to be here is not going to get in to this stadium this afternoon. Well, it's finally here, Super Bowl Sunday, and the Buffalo Bills are in it for the first time in the team's history. Now, the Tampa area certainly has been beaming with excitement all week long, especially the last 2 days. We went out this morning to see just what was happening around town on this morning of the Super Bowl.
Parishioners at St. Andrew's Church in Tampa began their Super Bowl Sunday like any other Sunday, with prayer. Downtown Tampa is empty today. All the attention of the city and soon the entire world will be on Tampa Stadium, not far from here. And as could be expected, the ticket scalpers were up early.
I need a bag. Hey, I paid $1,500 for one go. About 3,000 here to count, people. I need some bad.
Just bought a ticket.
How much?
$500.
$500?
$500. I came all the way from Niagara Falls. I'm not going to sit outside.
The Bills woke up here at
at the Hilton this morning, ready to face the greatest challenge of their professional lives. And security here is very tight. Every car is being checked. It's the same story out at the stadium.
I need to see your game tickets. Go. Okay, thank you. Stay up there and go on in.
It is the tightest security ever for a football game.
Once again, as you can see, people are still being checked as they roll into the stadium, the media included. A lot of people this time a little bit disappointed. You're not allowed to bring televisions, portable TVs, or radios, or portable telephones or things into the stand this year. They're not allowing any of that.
And we've been talking about the stadium, we've been talking about security, we've been talking about the bars, the fun. Let us not forget that this game involves two football teams, and we're going to take a look at two of the best football teams in the NFL from John Murphy right after this break. We'll be back with more of Touchdown in Tampa.
Which car has the best long-lasting protection against rust when scratched? Chevy Lumina, Ford Taurus, Honda Accord, or Mercedes-Benz? In these corrosion chambers, 30 days equals 2 years. Chevy Lumina's two-sided galvanized steel is unsurpassed in corrosion protection. With Ford, Honda, and Mercedes, sooner or later, you get this. By only scratching the surface, you can see why more people are winning with the heartbeat of America.
That's today's Chevrolet.
How do I know where to get my brakes done right?
Come to Midas. There's a lot of value in our $59 or $69 basic brake service. And you get something else. Peace of mind. Knowing you get a thorough inspection by Midas-trained experts and a written estimate up front. Knowing every brake shoe and pad is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. And knowing the job will be done right. That's why more people come to us for brakes, knowing that nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
McDonald's introduces a new kind of steak for a new kind of cowboy. It's grilled steak topped with onions, mushrooms, and a hearty steak sauce on a sourdough roll with a side of fries. And right now, it's a great McDonald's value you can't pass up. McDonald's new grilled steak sandwich. It's a new kind of steak for a new kind of cowboy.
It's the opportunity of a lifetime. Mom and Dad, here's the chance to send your star athlete to the 1991 Jim Kelly Celebrity Football Camp, June 23rd to the 28th. Campers aged 10 to 18 will learn from top athletes from around the NFL and gain valuable experience both on and off the field. If 2 or more campers enroll together with payment in full by March 1st, they will receive a free Buffalo Bills Super Bowl 25 Zubaz hat, personally signed by Jim. The Jim Kelly Celebrity Football Camp. For more information, call 821-1416.
Welcome back once again. We are live via satellite from Tampa Stadium as the countdown to Super Bowl 25 continues. Just about 3 hours to go. This is Keith Radford along with Bob Kaczynski. One family that's in full force down here, Jim Kelly's family this week, huh?
That's right. And before we take a look at the Kelly family, let us not forget the teams that they're here to watch, because everybody has an opinion on who's going to win today's game. That will all be decided in the next 3 hours. For a look at two of the best teams in the NFL, let's go now to Eyewitness Sports' John Murphy.
It comes down to matchups, individual battles. The total of those individual battles will tell the story of today's game. And as usual, whenever the Bills play, the individual posing the most problems for the opposition is Buffalo's number 78.
I just want to win the game. Whether I show I'm the best player in the league or not is irrelevant to me right now. I want to win the football game. That's the most important thing right now.
He's the quickest, fastest, most agile defensive lineman I've seen. Shoot, I've ever seen him since I've been a pro, and hey, he's also got size, little strength, so you know, he's a damn good player.
On a larger scale, the Giants' running game versus the Buffalo rush defense may decide the game. The Giants want to run and control the clock, meaning hard work for Buffalo's defense. The best matchup may be the Bills' high-powered, high-octane, no-huddle offense against the Giants' strong defense. But the Giants aren't shaking in their shoes about Buffalo's attack.
What the no-huddle does is it puts a lot of stress on your defensive communication, and you don't have very much time, obviously, to recognize some of the things that they're doing like you would when they stand over the ball. So what we're going to have to do is have good communication on defense and be even sharper on our recognition than what we normally would be.
We don't go into the game with the idea we are or are not going to use it in an entire game. Sometimes we'll use it during a series and say, hey, it went pretty well last time. Let's come back with it.
As usual, New York's defensive hopes rest on the shoulders of LT, the future Hall of Famer, who admits he's slowing down.
I'm happy with being a Clark Kent. I'm happy with being a Clark Kent, but even Clark Kent has some talents. He can get the job done if he has to.
There are some great matchups on special teams. Dave Meggett is one of the league's best return men. Renee Thompson, one of the better coverage men. And Buffalo has Steve Tasker.
I think comes down to what with Renee and I think he wants to go out and play real well, and so do I. I think both of us want to go out and prove that we deserve to be in the Pro Bowl and that we had something to do with our teams being as good as special teams as they are.
The two teams left standing for the NFL championship are outstanding teams with good coaching. And while the Giants bring experience and toughness to the table, the Bills bring explosiveness and momentum. From the site of the Super Bowl in Tampa, John Murphy, Eyewitness Sports.
And later on in this show, we'll talk to quarterback Jim Kelly. He'll give us some keys for tonight's broadcast of Super Bowl 25.
Now, Eyewitness News reporter Mary McCombs has been down here with us all week long. She is at one of our other camera locations on the other side of this compound with a special guest. Mary, take it away.
We are live outside Tampa Stadium, and Buffalo Bills fans continue to pour in. And joining me right now is one of the big Bills boosters here, Erie County Executive Dennis Gorski. Dennis, it's game day.
Mary, I'm just very, very excited. I slept, I think, about 2 hours, and I'm with the thousands of other people getting into the stadium 3 hours beforehand, and it's just exciting. You just got to be so proud to be a Buffalonian or to come from Western New York. Even the people who are not from Buffalo, sort of neutral parties, not from New York City or not from Buffalo, are cheering for the Buffalo Bills. So we are the underdog against the big New York City people, and I'm just happy to be one of the rest of the crowd coming in here.
And what can county residents expect back home should the Bills win today? And we hope that they do indeed.
Well, if they win at around 3 o'clock in Niagara Square, we hope everybody would come out in your viewing audience and welcome the Bills home. And it's going to be a nice celebration, irrespective of the weather, whether it's snowing, whether it's cold, whether it's raining, because the Bills deserve it, whether they win or lose, and we're going to be there.
Okay, Erie County Executive Dennis Gorski, thank you very much. That's it from here.
Thank you very much, Mary and Dennis. Right now, we're going back to Buffalo for Jerry and Kathleen. Kathleen?
Bob and Keith, we were just wondering, a lot of players are superstitious. Now, the Bills got there early. They changed hotels.
Yeah, they got
No, they did not change hotels last night. They changed hotels prior to coming to Tampa. They were to stay at the Holiday Inn. They switched to the Hilton, which is where the Raiders stayed the year they won the Super Bowl when they played in Tampa.
Any other things today? Any other different things you've noticed with the players or the coaches? Anything different? Superstition?
One interesting thing happened the other day. Bill Polian was on our set over on Harbor Island, and you talk about superstition. Somebody was throwing money down, pennies, and he ran over and picked up a penny. It was heads up, and he said, hey, I'm going to keep this. This is good luck. Put it in his pocket, and hopefully it'll help him out today.
And Marv Levy got very upset at a news conference when they asked him to hold the trophy, the Lombardi trophy. He would not do it until he won the game.
That's what we wanted to hear.
That's what we want to know. How many rabbit's feet are in the little pockets today, do you think?
Plenty, probably.
Probably. Well, Sheila Mahoney is at the Orchard Park Fire Hall, where there's a crowd gathering to take part in Super Bowl festivities. Sheila?
Well, Kathleen, we've heard from all of these people in Tampa, but let me tell you, we are in Orchard Park, and that is Bills territory. Hey, do the Giants stand a chance at all? What do you think? Big game that is coming up. They're getting ready, and the people here, as you'll notice, they've got yellow ribbons on, a special tribute to our men and women who are serving in the Gulf. And there is one person here who today has special meaning for. He is Chuck Venetia, a Buffalo firefighter who is also a volunteer. His son is serving in the Gulf, or was serving in the Gulf, but you got some good news. And
Our son returned home Friday night. His ship, the USS Taylor, came into port at Charleston, South Carolina, a day early, and they're unloading their ship Saturday so they could watch the Super Bowl today. And he said it's a big thing. They did not know who had been in the playoffs, who won the playoffs, and who was in the Super Bowl. We talked to him on a ship-to-shore telephone communication, and he was ecstatic. He said, Dad, there's over 600,000 men and women that are pumped up for this game. He said it's a morale booster and a half. And he said, Dad, I just wish the Bills the same thing I wish the men and women in Saudi Arabia. A big win and return home safe.
Well, congratulations to you, Mr. Venetia, and we celebrate with you as well. Now, there's something else going on here. We've Ed Jensen, who is the organizer of this party, and they've got a wager going with their counterparts in Jefferson Township, New Jersey, correct? And you've got them on the line. What's going on?
Jerry, you say you guys still want to bet with us down there? Okay, let's talk about 12 hats and shirts. That sounds good? Okay, and we're going to go even because the 5 points is kind of high for us. Okay, we're going to go even then. Okay, and we'll give you a call back at halftime. You got it, Jer. Okay, see you at halftime.
Okay, we're talking hats and shirts.
Hats and shirts for Jefferson County.
All right, the battle lines have been drawn. I think we know who's going to win, so we'll send it back to you.
Okay, thank you, Sheila. Well, what does Jim Kelly think about this game of games? We'll find out a little bit later.
Also, the Super Bowl media is a crush of an international affair. We're going to head to Tampa for that story a little bit later when Touchdown in Tampa returns. Stay with us.
Buffalo, time is running out on the biggest sales event of the year going on right now at Dinettes and More. Save 50 to 75% off on all discontinued styles, floor samples, and overstocked merchandise. Our January clearance sale is ending. Further markdowns have been made on already drastically reduced items. If you plan to buy kitchen, dinette, or dining room furniture this year, don't miss this sale. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday only at Dinettes and More, Seneca Square, West Seneca, and Transit Road, Williamsville.
Welcome home, America, to the biggest Dodge truck sale ever. We're dropping the cost of owning the Dodge truck you want. Save up to $4,200 on full-size Dodge pickups, up to $3,700 on Dodge Dakotas, and up to $4,370 on Ram vans. It's the largest total savings ever available on these Dodge trucks, with prices starting under $7,500. So drop in to the biggest Dodge truck sale ever. Drop into your Dodge dealer now.
Another FWS factory buyout brings you savings of 50 to 70% during our great bed sale. This beautiful trundle loft bed is yours for only $138.88. Bunk bed just $99.88. Or a panel bed with rails for $49.88. Lovely canopy bed now $79.88. You pay just $149.88 for a skipper's bed with drawers. Plus, huge savings on matching bedroom pieces. Hurry now to both FWS locations.
Teenagers. In the 90s, they faced some tough decisions. That's why, this February, News Channel 7 will be presenting an exclusive series of reports that deal with the problems parents and teens are facing. Watch for Teenagers and Tough Decisions, coming February 18th to News Channel 7. We know Buffalo's watching.
Again, live from Tampa, the fans continue to pour into Tampa Stadium. By game time, about 74,000 of them will be in the stands ready for the kickoff at 6:18. Now, you know, baseball and football have always been considered to be the true American sports, but these sports are becoming ever popular now overseas as well. Eyewitness News reporter Mary McCombs tells us now about some international reporters who are here to cover the Super Bowl 25.
The Super Bowl means many things to different people. For the media, it's a chance to ask loads of questions at tons of news conferences. For the network, the game means big bucks. And for fans, it's simple. It's pure fun. Over the last 10 years, foreign countries have expressed a growing interest in covering the Super Bowl. At today's game, there will be several international sportscasters in the press box at Tampa Stadium. It's been a busy week for Flavio Tranquillo, an Italian sportscaster who will be calling the game for his people in Italy.
Our great danger is that the game will end at 3 in the morning our time. So if the game is lopsided, probably our ratings for the second half won't be that good. If the game is tense like 3 years ago was, it will be good.
And the Japanese football fans are being well represented in this year's Super Bowl. They have a crew in Tampa taping the various events and tourist attractions. So what does Japan think of our Buffalo Bills? We asked this Japanese sportscaster who will be doing the play-by-play on Sunday.
Buffalo Bills はどんな風に思われますか?
すごく強いよね。
Very strong team.
タレントも揃ってるしね。
And they are very talented.
弱点を探すのが大変ですよ。
It's hard to find their weak spots.
For many of these foreign broadcasters, announcing the Super Bowl for their country is like a dream come true. And they're happy to be in America and take part in what's considered one of the ultimate games in the world of sports. At the site of the Super Bowl, Mary McCombs, Eyewitness News.
By the way, a couple of charter flights came in earlier this week. About 200 fans from Italy and Japan are going to be here to actually watch the game today. Probably there would be a lot more, but I guess it's pretty difficult to get your hands on Super Bowl tickets when you live so far away. Distribution isn't too good in the Pacific, I guess.
Yeah, it's tough enough to get tickets in Buffalo,
That's right,
let alone
it is.
overseas. And speaking of Buffalo, let's go now to our studios in Buffalo for Jerry and Kathleen.
Okay, thanks, Bob. Western New York is, of course, full of Bills boosters, none perhaps greater than radio station WHTT.
Now, if you listen to the station, you know that all year long they've been taking classic rock songs and substituting Bills lyrics. Videographer Frank Pacella put some pictures to their latest effort going down to Tampa Bay.
In Buffalo, feels so good today. We beat those Raiders, sent them crying on their way. And now we're getting ready, gonna head right down to Tampa Bay. In New York, oh how we destroyed you. Phoenix, New England, Denver, how we ran you through. But most of all in Cleveland, they scored 0, we scored 42. Hey, New York Giants, ourselves better learn how to pray. 'Cause the Bills will have no mercy when they meet him down in Tampa Bay. Guitar! Well, Buffalo is going down to Tampa Bay. Buffalo is going down to Tampa Bay. And we're gonna win the Super Bowl when we get down to Tampa Bay. One more time. Buffalo is going down to Tampa Bay. Well, Buffalo is going down to Tampa Bay. And we're gonna win the Super Bowl when we get down to Tampa Bay. Woo!
How do I know where to get my brakes done right?
Come to Midas. There's a lot of value in our $59 or $69 basic brake service. And you get something else. Peace of mind. Knowing you get a thorough inspection by Midas-trained experts and a written estimate up front. Knowing every brake shoe and pad is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. And knowing the job will be done right. That's why more people come to us for brakes, knowing that nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Now, Pizza Hut is serving up an abundance of toppings and savings on 2 great pizzas. Pizza Hut Supreme, America's favorite 6-toppings pizza, and America's newest fully loaded pizza, Pepperoni Supreme. Enjoy either for a sizzling $6.99 and win America's newest full-size family car, a 1992 Ford Crown Victoria. New Pepperoni Supreme or Classic Supreme, just $6.99 at Pizza Hut.
Life is a lot of little things done over and over. And it takes stamina to stay above it all. Stamina needs a balanced diet. So make part of it milk. That smasher down of hungry thirst that's a nutritious energy giver. Milk with energy, plus 15 essential nutrients to help you stay above it all.
To build a great radio station, start with bumper-to-bumper traffic counter reports. Add accurate, up-to-the-minute weather facts forecasts. The best sports coverage. News from around town and around the world. Then top it all off with the #1 rated Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
And you've got... We put more into it, so you get more out of it. Keith Radford once again, along with Bob Kaczynski. You're looking at a live picture via satellite. Touchdown in Tampa. We're at Tampa Stadium, where Super Bowl 25 will get underway in about 2.5 hours from now. The fans continue to pour in. As we've been telling you, about 74,000 will actually be watching the game today. Another 850 million people around the world will be watching on television.
And, you know, we've talked a lot about the matchups this week between the Bills and the Giants. And earlier in the week, we had a chance to sit down with the man who will be responsible for leading the Bills offense, quarterback Jim Kelly. It's now just a few hours before game time. With that in mind, Jim gives us some keys to look for.
They're giants as far as defensively. You got to look at a guy like Lawrence Taylor. It's a guy that has wreaked havoc on almost every team in the National Football League over the last 10 years. He's in quarterbacks' faces all the time. He seems to be able to run offensive guards over to get to the quarterback. And of course, he can cover, and he has a lot of interceptions too. And then you got to look at a guy like Pepper Johnson, middle linebacker, can do about everything. So their defense is very, very solid. And I think if you want to look on the other side of the ball, you got a guy like Bart Oates at offensive center, which is a Pro Bowler, is just a super player. And Jeff Wright's going to have his hands full. But Jeff has been coming on to be one of the top-notch nose guards in the National Football League. So it's going to be a battle between those two. You look at on offense, and I think, Ed, you mentioned it before, Hostetler, a scrambling quarterback that a lot of people consider a big threat to our defense. And do you have to agree with that?
Absolutely. You know, you've got to make sure that your defense has a heck of an afternoon, because they have a power offensive unit. They like to run between the tackles, and they're going to try to have ground control ball games, put together drives that consist of 12 or 15 plays, eat up the clock so you guys can't get on the field with your no-huddle offense.
That's one thing, yeah. I agree, because one thing they like to do is make it a quick running back that likes hitting those holes quick. Otis Anderson, a guy that's 33 years old, something like that, that's just coming on to be a great ball player. Take, for example, James Lofton on our team has risen above all the other stuff of people saying that, you know, you're too old to play. He's come on to be a big threat, plus those fast little receivers that they have. So they get the threat to put some points on the board. Our defense got their work cut out for them. And, of course, can't forget special teams. Steve Tasker going to the Pro Bowl for the second time on our side, and a big key for us is stop Meggett. Just a great person back there, receiving kickoffs, punts. He's the guy that we have to shut down.
Jim, a lot of people say it's tough to beat a good team twice in 1 year, yet the Dolphins came in, the Raiders came in, both were clubs that you defeated earlier. In fact, the Dolphins you defeated 3 weeks earlier, and you blew them off the field. Does it mean anything that you already played the Giants once and were able to beat them at this
As far as we're concerned, it doesn't mean anything, because number one, they weren't healthy, didn't have all their players there. Number two, they already knew that they were going to the playoffs and they knew they were going to do some traveling, and they had the home field advantage at one point too. So it's just a matter of everybody getting their mindset of what they're doing and not worrying about what's happened in the past. So that's probably one of the biggest reasons.
I don't want to put any pressure on you, but you kind of make everything work as far as the snow huddle offense is concerned. And Don Shula was quoted as saying, they tried to stop you by blitzing you, you killed them. When they laid back, you picked them apart. Art Shell said that this defensive unit that they threw up against you was the best defensive Raiders unit in the history of the organization. You guys decimated them with 41-3.
In the first half.
In the first half. Doesn't that put an awful lot of pressure on you, because you're the guy who has to mastermind this whole no-huddle offense?
No, I don't think so. I think I enjoy going out there. I mean, it's a big pat on the back when a guy like Art Shell says it's the best Raider defense that has ever been established in a Raiders uniform. I mean, you think of all the Ted Hendricks, people have played on that side of the ball, and then you look, we scored 41 points in the first half on them, wound up scoring 51. I don't think that can ever happen twice in a row to a team like the Raiders, but we're facing the number one defense and number two defense in the National Football League, and the Giants. We just have to go out there and play our type of football, have some fun. That's what it's all about, and get ready to kick some butt.
Well, Jim, we're going to say not only good luck, but certainly the prayers of the entire city of Buffalo be with you as you take your team into the biggest game, not only in the history of the franchise, but in the history of the city.
I want to end up on a real quick note that, another big question was asked me all week. Who do you think deserves this championship, this Super Bowl more than anybody? And I consider there's three big factors. Number one, Ralph Wilson, our owner, has been in the league for like 30 years now. He hasn't had the opportunity to come and enjoy something that a lot of other owners have done. He's definitely number one on the list. Number two, it definitely has to be the fans that support us each and every week, no matter if it's 5 degrees or 80 degrees in September in Buffalo. The people, the fans, the whole city of Buffalo definitely deserves a championship. And number three, as far as I'm concerned, looking at me, my family has been behind me ever since I've started this, and really ever since I was a little boy, my father pushing me, and it's something that I would love to bring a championship back and say, hey, Dad, I was part of the Super Bowl, and I got 5 brothers that come to watch this game, and this is for my family.
I believe he would say this is your last river to cross.
One more river to cross, and hopefully we'll cross it and be holding a flag and maybe a Super Bowl ring.
Good luck.
Well, Jim referred to his family. They're all here except for his mom, who's back in East Brady, PA. We'll have a chance to talk to them in just a few minutes.
Came down in their Winnebago, and the whole family is here. It's quite a crew, and they're all excited. We'll be back live with more Touchdown in Tampa from Tampa Stadium right after this.
Now, an American classic is even better. Announcing a new 91 Dodge Caravan for only $13,851. And here's how. Air conditioning at no extra charge. A savings of $857. Add a $500 rebate. That's a total savings of $1,357. Get new safety features, too. Welcome home to the Family Value Dodge Caravan. Only at your Dodge dealer.
See your team Dodge dealer and get the advantage. Advantage Dodge.
You're doing more to get the best deals possible. And Goldome's doing more with Best Deal Checking. It's free to $19.93. Write all the checks you need. There's no charge. And no monthly fee, even if your balance goes down to $1. Combine Best Deal Checking with a Goldome savings account on one statement with one ATM card. To get your best deal, stop by Goldome during our convenient customer hours.
This Feeling Fit in the 90s tip is brought to you by these foods, available at Tops Friendly Markets. Your heart, like any other muscle in your body, gets stronger with regular exercise. Dynamic or aerobic exercise challenges the heart and circulatory system to meet extra oxygen needs. Examples include jogging, swimming, bicycling, and even fast walking. Doing aerobic exercise at least 3 times a week for 20 minutes a session can lower your risk of heart disease.
Start feeling fit for the 90s with Tops and these Feeling Fit products. Weight Watchers frozen entrees are the perfect balance of good taste and nutrition. Weight Watchers, 28 years of healthy eating experience. For a light snack, try Weight Watchers Ultimate 90 Yogurt. It's low in cholesterol, 100% fat-free, and has only 90 calories per cup. Quench your thirst with refreshing Ocean Spray grapefruit juice. It's a great source of vitamin C and potassium, and it doesn't contain any sodium or cholesterol. Smart choices for feeling fit at Tops Friendly Markets.
We're looking at a live picture outside Tampa Stadium where the crowds are getting ready for Super Bowl 25. A lot of the Buffalo fans, I'm sure.
I thought you were doing Brent Musburger for a minute ago. Looking live at Tampa. That's Brent's Open. He'll be doing later today.
I was going to start doing the color commentary, but I thought I'd throw it to you, Jerry.
Well, you both make about the same amount of money. But, you know, it is no surprise that almost every Western New Yorker feels that the Bills are going to win this game. But as we found out when we talked to some of the fans, opinions vary when it comes to predicting the score.
I think we're going to win. We're going to kick butt this weekend. My prediction of the score is 51-3, just like last week.
Oh, boy. 21-7, Bills. Why do you think that? Defense. Gonna hold them down.
I think the Bills are going to win. 41-3.
Why do you say that?
Because I don't... That's right, because Bruce is on defense, and I don't think they're going to score that much.
I think the no-huddle is going to totally destroy them.
Really?
They're not going to be able to stop them, no way.
The Bills are going to kick the Giants' butt, and it's going to be
50-3. Yeah, we're just going to whip their butts. The Giants are not going to be giant anymore. They're going to be like this. They are.
Could I have a bar of soap to wash their mouths out? They're going to kick that word they use, and this lady here is pregnant. Shame on those girls.
Watch out, yes.
At least they're loyal Bills fans. Now, we made predictions last night on the air. My prediction was Bills 27, Giants 20. You haven't made your prediction yet, so let's hear Kathleen.
23-10 Bills, because I have 3-0 in the office pool. So
Purely monetary reasons.
Absolutely, but the Bills are going to win. I don't care what the score is.
That's a good philosophy. And speaking of philosophers, let's go back to Tampa to Keith and Bob.
It must be you Jerry's talking about, I guess.
Yeah, I'm the philosopher of the bunch. You're the one who counts the money. You know, we talk, speaking of money, quarterback Jim Kelly, he's a multi-millionaire, but he comes from humble stock in East Brady, Pennsylvania. His family's strong, fans of the Bills, and of course Jim, and I had a chance to catch up with them in their hotel parking lot.
The Kelly clan are no riders of the bandwagon. They've been driving it all along, following Jim to every game, especially Father Joe and Uncle Ed. This is their ultimate dream.
This is the best I've ever had. You know, I went to many locker rooms, but coming here to Tampa, he made my dream come true, and I'm really happy. I still have butterflies in there until the game's over.
All the way. We proclaimed this beginning of the season. We're number one. We're going to be.
We won't ask the age. We'll ask you what order you came in.
I'm Pat. I'm the oldest. I'm Ray. I'm number 3 son. I'm Kevin. I'm the baby of the family.
I'm Ed, and I'm number 2. All right, Jim's playing in the Super Bowl. Now the question is, which one of you guys taught him everything he knows?
I did. Ray did it. I was a couple years older than him, and what I learned, I gave to him.
So the question is, if you taught him everything he knows, did you teach him everything you know?
I'm gonna touch that one.
Everybody play football here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What position did you play?
Linebacker.
Yeah, you played in the NFL a little bit, right?
A little bit. Colts and Lions.
Yeah. So this is not totally new to you.
Yeah, going to the Super Bowl is totally new.
What position did you play?
Linebacker also. Linebacker, kicker, offensive tackle. Wasn't punter. That one.
Kicker and quarterback.
Okay, so you guys covered all the positions. You know, I mean, you guys all obviously very athletic, and did you guys notice right away with Jimmy that there was something different, that he maybe had something different than anybody else in their family?
Yeah, he had big hands. I remember when I was in college, I had my college ring. It was about a size 12, and at age 12, it fit him perfect.
So when Jim was about 8 years old and passed, punt, and kick, he was beating kids 10, 11, sometimes 12 years old. So from the time he was 8 years old, we knew he had something special.
So how many do you got down here?
Oh, I don't know. There must be about 30 of us from the family.
Did you pick up a couple extra relatives this week?
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of new ones, too.
Joe is a great guy, and the family fun to talk with. I should mention, younger brother Dan was not there when we did the interview. He, along with Roger Trevino, represent Jim in all their business deals, and he was out making money for Jim when we met up with the rest of the
They've got a
folks.
stand set up in one of the tents here, one of the pro sports things. They're selling a big autographed picture. Yes, thank you, Bob. We'll have much more to come from Tampa. Touchdown in Tampa here on News Channel 7. Don't go away. We'll be back live right after this.
Another Bills True Blue fan quiz brought to you by Labatt's, Canada's #1 beer. 1975, against the Broncos, O.J. Simpson and fullback Jim Braxton each rushed for over 100 yards in the same game. Question, who are the 2 rushers to do it last? The answer after this.
Clean. Crisp. Cold. Moonlight. Taste. Right out of the ice.
Last year, Thurman Thomas had 148 yards, and fullback Larry Kinnebrew gained 121 as the Bills beat the Dolphins.
Sleep Shop has put it in writing. No question. You will save money on famous brand mattresses like Sealy, Simmons, Certus, Spring Air, and Mastonic. I guarantee it.
Kex got me sore. Kex is better than the best. Why? Kex has the people for sales, service, and support. Your organization will run smoother with Canon NP and CLC copiers. From reliable desktop models to the latest in color copying technology, Canon NP and CLC are unsurpassed. See what Canon and Kex can do for you today with great performance, price, and superior quality. Better than the best.
This is the second time this city has hosted this event, and certainly the weather is cooperating. This is the best weather we have had all week long for the big game today. Now, they've worked all their lives to make the team. They tried to make the final cut, and finally, the ultimate dream was a trip to the Super Bowl. Well, no, we're not talking about the Buffalo Bills, not the players. We're talking about the Buffalo Bills cheerleaders, the Buffalo Jills, as we love to call them. Now, Steve Boyd was out earlier this week, and he spoke with the Buffalo Jills how they are also getting ready right now for the biggest game of their lives.
It was springtime when the 1991 Buffalo Jills tryouts were held. Today, the song is the same. The location is different. Stephanie Sauer and Debbie Prayer are among the 37 lucky Jills in Tampa getting ready for their first Super Bowl. It has not been an easy road.
A lot of work. We just made this routine up like a week ago. We're practicing every night, like 5 hours a night. Great. We feel like we're part of their team, and we get just as excited as they do, I'm sure. Dance now.
And since they are so excited, they have worked 5 hours a day, every day this week. Most nights till 1 in the morning.
We had to completely make a brand new run-out routine. We're going to be performing for 3 minutes before the whole Super Bowl starts.
And with the world watching Sunday, everything must be perfect. So now their lives parallel the Bills, practicing so everything is in sync, getting ready for what will be a once-in-a-lifetime experience, especially if the Bills win their first World Championship.
We're going to win the Super Bowl.
Somehow I'm going to get my Super Bowl ring.
At the site of the Super Bowl, Steve Boyd, Eyewitness News.
Now, we should mention that the team, as well as some local businesses back in Western New York, all kicked in a little bit because the Jills were coming up a little bit short on their money drive, and luckily all the expenses were taken care of, and they are down here for this historic game today.
Yeah, and Steve Boyd's been providing ground transportation for them while they've been in Tampa.
Free of charge.
Guy. That's right.
We'll be back from Super Bowl 25 in just a minute.
What can you get for $49.99 at America's Best? New patients get daily wear soft contacts or 2 pair of eyeglasses, single vision lenses, and the eye exam is included. That's 2 pair of high fashion eyeglasses or a pair of daily wear soft contacts, including eye exam, $49.99. Only at America's Best. Contacts and eyeglasses. Call now.
Buffalo, time is running out on the biggest sales event of the year going on right now at Diners and More. Save 50 to 75% off on all discontinued styles, floor samples, and overstocked merchandise. Our January clearance sale is ending. Further markdowns have been made on already drastically reduced items. If you plan to buy kitchen, dinette, or dining room furniture this year, don't miss this sale. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday only at Diners and More, Seneca Square, West Seneca, and Transit Road, Williamsville.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
It's back. The TV magazine Western New York has been waiting for. Round 7, coming February 10th, free in your Metro Community News. With the AM Buffalo team on the cover, Brian Kale and Linda Pellegrino. You could win a fabulous cruise to the Bahamas, plus thousands of dollars in cash and prizes just by playing the Round 7 Lucky Number contest. Plus, you'll get money-saving coupons and smart advice on feeling fit in the 90s. In Round 7, coming February 10th in your Metro Community News. And in the Southern Tier in your free distribution weekly.
everybody, and welcome back to Touchdown in Tampa. Kathleen Layton right here with Jerry Azar, quarterbacking here from Buffalo. And you know, we're about 10 minutes away from ABC's coverage. We're about 2 hours and 18 minutes away from kickoff to the game. As you know, the game will be seen right here on News Channel 7 and ABC. I'm getting a little bit, my hands are getting a little bit cold.
I know, kind of clammy, Jerry.
Well, I'm nervous. It's game day. You know, how you feel?
It is. I feel nervous, too. I mean, I really think the Bills are going to win, and I'm just wondering what kind of a game it's going to be. I think the Giants might surprise us, but I think the Bills will be victorious.
I hope it's a very close game and a very good game, and no injuries for either side get out there.
Right, exactly.
Let's go to a couple of our other teammates, Mike Randall and Susan Banks, standing by at Tunes. Take it away, guys.
Jerry and Kathleen, I was just telling Mike, we saw a car drive by with a Buffalo Bills banner on its antenna.
You'll see a lot of strange things today, and one of them is, since we went on the air, there's about 3 times as many people as there were in here. They're starting to fill in. All the good seats are gone. There are some nickel seats in the back here, though, if you want to come down and join us.
We are at Tunes on Elmwood. The party is just getting underway. The crowd, as Mike said, is getting bigger and more enthusiastic.
I don't know if they can wait 2.5 hours for this game. I don't know if they're going to be able to wait.
I think they could wait.
Well, they can put the hockey game back on. No. We got to stay on Channel 7.
There you go.
This is like deja vu or something. They can see themselves.
As Yogi always said, it's deja vu all over again.
The TV screen is right over the bar, so they're all waving at themselves.
They were doing the wave earlier, and they were pretty good at it. But I don't think we can get them to do it again.
No, I think they're psyched. They're ready to go.
They don't want to get paid anyway.
That's right.
Back to you, Jerry and Kathleen, and we'll be here all night.
Make some noise there at the studio, will you?
Okay.
We'll be checking
Thank you both.
Well, there are Tunes, and let's hope the Bills do a number on the Giants coming up there. They'll play on words.
Absolutely. This is really a history-making day for Buffalo.
Well, it's like this. The players are not only playing for their teammates and playing for themselves and playing for the community, Western New York. They're playing for a spot in history, and this is something that they'll have forever. They don't usually remember the losers unless you're an incredible loser. Like, they remember the Minnesota Vikings and Denver Broncos because they lost 4 Super Bowls.
Right.
They remember the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III losing to the Jets because that was a very historic loss and brought parity between the two leagues, AFL and the NFL. But this is something they are playing for forever. You can't take it away. And this is why I think the Bills might be a little hungrier than the Giants. So the Giants have been there before. They won it back in 1986 when they blew out Denver. The Bills are there, and this is one thing when you go to the Super Bowl. You never know if you're ever going to get a ticket back there. And that's why you got to let it all out and go for it. And
there's a certain amount of vindication also because of all the slams Buffalo has taken in the national media over the years. And we're finally there, and this is the time to get it.
And what's really great, people talk so much about Buffalo weather, and they've had lousy weather in Tampa all week.
And we've been loving it.
But this is a chance, we're in the national spotlight. Win or lose, it's been a great season. It'll be a season for history if the Bills can do it.
We've shown them that we have class. Now let's show them we're winners.
All right. And speaking of winners, as we do another transition, we're the king and queen of transition, back to Tampa.
All right. Thanks, Jerry. I have a question for you. I've been here since last Saturday, 8 days now. I missed the last game, playoff game. I take it things are as crazy back there as they are here as far as the fans go, because I've missed it all. Tell me.
Driving down the street, Keith, there are balloons everywhere and banners and people honking and playing the shout song. It's been absolutely incredible everywhere you go. If you go to the supermarket, if you go to the mall, if you go anywhere, Bill, you can just see it. It's Bill's mania.
It's people going around with the Bill. It's not just the fanatics anymore. Even the casual fans have all got the painted faces and everything, dressed in attire. The grocery stores are decked out. Everywhere you go, it is total Bills fever. There's no cure for it here.
Same thing down here, to tell you the truth.
I hope my wife bought me one of those loaves of Italian bread in the shape of a football.
That's one that Lisa Flynn was telling us about last night. One other thing that I just wanted to mention, usually Super Bowl, any big event like this, you see all the blimps, the Goodyear blimp and the MetLife blimp and the Fujifilm. None here this year. Because of the security alert, there's only 2 helicopters. There's a Marine helicopter, and there is also a pool television helicopter where they're using, ABC's going to use that. It has 1 camera in it. All the FAA has not allowed any other aircraft to come near this area because of the security threat this year.
Now, earlier, just a little while ago, the Bills arrived. Some of them arrived. The defense pulled up to the stadium. The offense pulled in just a few seconds ago. There's Bruce Smith getting off, playing in his biggest game. He says he is the best. This is the best platform to prove that. And I think think the Bills, you talk about being hungry, the Bills are hungry, the Giants have been there before. That means that may give them a little edge and experience, but I think when push comes to shove, the Buffalo Bills are a better football team than New York Giants. They defeated the Giants at the Meadowlands, the only team to do that this year, and not only did they defeat the team, but they also did it without Jim Kelly for 3 quarters on the field. Granted, Phil Simms was off the field for the New York Giants. And a lot of the New York City media here are beginning to talk up the Giant defense and that the Bills are not going to score as many points against the Giants as they have against the Dolphins and the Raiders. I think the Bills will be very successful against the defense, and I think with the crowd behind them, at least 12,000 fans who have Bills tickets, and there are plenty of Buffalonians who live in the Florida area who have told me they have skepped up tickets as well. And there you see a shot of them, the American flags. This is also going to be a very patriotic game, I think, Keith. Everybody will have an American flag given to them by Disney as they come in, and there will also be a very patriotic halftime show being put on by the Disney Corporation, and the singing of the national anthem by Whitney Houston, which I think will be a memorable event.
All righty. It won't quite be like being back at Rich Stadium, but it's going to be pretty close. Lots of Bills fans here. Finally, reminder, ABC's sports coverage of Super Bowl 25 begins here on News Channel 7 in just a few minutes. We're going to be back at the conclusion of the coverage tonight to celebrate what we hope is going to be a Bills victory here in Super Bowl 25. That should be around 10:30 this evening. Now, we leave you tonight from Tampa with the photo finish that shows the pictures and sound all the events leading up to the Super Bowl Sunday, beginning with the Bills' destruction of the L.A. Raiders. The music is Al Jarreau's It's So Good, and it certainly is. That's it from Tampa for now. We'll see you live after the game.
Rainbow. There's no place on earth I'd rather be than staying right here with you. It's not about love. I don't need to knock on wood. No, no, I've been round before, but this feels so good. No greater sin than missing your chance, but when it's staring right at you, that look in your eyes says everything and tells me I'm home. For once in my life, you know I don't feel misunderstood. I've been round before, oh, but this time, you know, it feels so sure. Been round before, but this feels so good. Hey, 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 hey. Been round before, this feels so good. Woo. Y'all sing it. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I'm talking about. This feels so good, so good, so good, so good, so good, so good. This feels so good, so good, so good, so good,
Touchdown in Tampa, an Eyewitness News special, has been brought to you by Chevrolet. The heartbeat of America is today's Chevrolet. By Dinettes and more. By Chevy Trucks. The heartbeat of America. Today's truck is Chevrolet. And by Pizza Hut, making it great.
Making it great.
Now, Pizza Hut is serving up an abundance of toppings and savings on 2 great pizzas. Pizza Hut Supreme, America's favorite 6-toppings pizza, and America's newest fully loaded pizza, Pepperoni Supreme. Enjoy either for a sizzling $6.99 and win America's newest full-size family car, a 1992 Ford Crown Victoria. New Pepperoni Supreme or Classic Supreme, just $6.99 at Pizza Hut.
Hungry. Got an appetite that's fully grown. And a brand new syrup to call his own. Hungry? Yeah, he's hungry. For new Hungry Jack syrup. For this big guy, it's Hungry Jack. It's thick and rich. That's a fact. Hungry. So give him that syrup.
Hungry big guy.
And just stand back. Whoa.
Whoa.
New Hungry Jack syrup. For the Hungry Jack in your house.
You're doing more to get the best deals possible. And Goldome's doing more with Best Deal Checking. It's free to $19.93. Write all the checks you need. There's no charge. And no monthly fee, even if your balance goes down to $1. Combine Best Deal Checking with a Goldome savings account on one statement with one ATM card. To get your best deal, stop by Goldome during our convenient customer hours.
To get more two-sided galvanized steel than Ford. To get more corrosion protection than Ford. And more standard horsepower to clear the road ahead. Dick Chasey switched to Chevy. We think you can see why. More people are winning with the heartbeat of America.
Dave's truck is Chevrolet.
News Channel 7.
You are looking live at Tampa Stadium in Tampa, Florida, where the National Football League will stage its silver anniversary Super Bowl game. The 25th Super Bowl matches the NFC champion New York Giants against the favored AFC champion Buffalo Bills. Our weather has been improving all day, and now we have but a 20% chance of rain. But as we await Super Bowl 25, the concerns of all Americans are not just on the football game. No, our hearts remain with our fighting men and women in the Persian Gulf, some of whom are going to be able to watch today's Super Bowl game at 2 o'clock in the morning, their time. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to ABC's coverage of Super Bowl 25. I'm Brent Musburger. Now, normally a Super Bowl build-up is awash with celebrations, parties, and hype, but not this one. The biggest sporting event on the American calendar takes a backseat to the crisis unfolding in the Gulf. It may not be business as usual, but the business at hand for the Giants and the Bills will be trying to win this Vince Lombardi trophy. And extreme precautions have been taken here today to see that this contest is not disrupted and that the folks gathered at Tampa Stadium are safe. Early this morning, hundreds of law enforcement officials poured into Tampa Stadium. They checked underneath the hoods of cars and inside the trunks. Mounted police have been called in for crowd control. And the journalists covering Super Bowl 25 had to send their telephones and their typewriters through an X-ray machine. Meanwhile, outside, FBI agents inside a U.S. Customs helicopter studied the stadium. And inside the locker room with the Giants and the Bills, the players will show their support of the soldiers with the American flag on the back of the helmets that they will wear today in the Super Bowl. Now, because airspace has been restricted, you will not see those pictures from the SeaWorld and Goodyear blimps that we were planning on bringing you as part of ABC's coverage here today. But throughout our coverage all day long of the Super Bowl, ABC News with Peter Jennings is ready to bring you scheduled reports and bulletins on the conflict if the events warrant. Standing by now to call Super Bowl 25, our ABC's primetime trio. So let's go upstairs to Frank Gifford, Al Michaels, and Dan Deerdorf. Frank?
Thank you very much, Brand. And of course, it began for us a long time ago. It seems that long, back in August, but we're delighted to be back. And I'm sure I speak for all of us.
In fact, Frank, it began for us on Monday night, August 13th, our first preseason telecast, and it featured the New York Giants at the Buffalo Bills, and the Giants, for whatever it's worth, won that game 20-6.
And here we are now in Tampa, ready to call a game that over the years we've seen some real mismatches, some games that weren't as good as we hoped. I like the matchup of these two teams. Maybe this will be the one. Maybe we'll have the good one. Strange year in some ways. Everyone thought the 49ers would three-peat. They came within a few seconds of that. Of course, we had both the Buffalo Bills and the Giants twice on our schedule, but let's go back and take a look at the year 1990 in review.
Die out on this field if that's what it takes. Let it all go.
Back in September, 28 NFL teams embarked on a quest for the Lombardi Trophy, football's most coveted prize. But the 1990 season was one of surprises, and no surprise was bigger than Jimmy Johnson and the Dallas Cowboys, who came within a single victory of making the playoffs after winning only one game in 1989. The new-look Cowboys raised a lot of eyebrows, while the resurgent Raiders returned to a punishing style of play.
Rolling to the right is Harbaugh to the shotgun, pursued by Townsend, pursued by Wallace, and Wallace gets in, the ball goes into the end zone, and the Raiders have a touchdown!
The Dolphins leap back into the league's elite thanks in part to Sammy Smith and a return of a rushing attack. And now, we watch the Chicago Bears rebound from a 6-10 season to emerge as the unlikely champions of the NFC Central.
But Frank, not all teams had something to cheer about. Picked to contend for the Super Bowl, the Vikings never got a grip on the season, but they were